Hello! Glad you could make it. My name is Serval. I worked as a compositor on the Hasbin Hotel pilot, the Hell of a Boss pilot, and Holidays, so I guess all of Vivzy Pop's H projects. I also composited the entire O'Milly short back in February, and since I'm addicted to compositing, I just wrapped up on the new ADDICT music video. But hold on, what is compositing? My job is to take the animation, backgrounds, and effects together into a shot and make it look cohesive within the physical space. This is really easy to do since all I really have to do is press the Add Sexy Spider Stripper Lights button, which is right next to the Make Everything Pink button, and bam, there you go. I really wish it were that easy, but think of compositing as adding shading to a digital illustration, but all the layers move around and cross over each other, and camera movements need to be added, so all the layers have to line up and make sense with every light source, and every light source needs to be considered and track with that animation, and it's just a lot, and it's really fun, and it's really tedious, and I really love it. I love my job! It's just 24 moving paintings every second, so let's take a look at some of my favorite shots that I did on ADDICT. I usually use a program called After Effects, specifically version 2018 for this, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Here's what I'm usually given. An animation file and a background, with or without hopper. I also have boards to revert to, which I pulled up right here, so I can see what camera moves I'll need to add a bit later. It had a really cool fade to show off how carnal crazed Val is, so I was able to get really creative with it and mess with elements to stand out. I'm very lucky that I can just kind of go ham on designing the final shot a lot of the time. Unlike O'Milly, ADDICT didn't have any color scripts or thumbs to refer to. Here's an example of one. Huge shout out to Jen Padilla for these awesome color scripts. Good job, so happy you're my coworker. So I played with a lot of lighting that one would expect to see in a moth-owned strip club. So crazy neon lights, LEDs, spotlights everywhere. A lot of the glow effects that I do within After Effects are done with layer styles, like inner shadow and outer glow. If it really needs it, then maybe I'll include the drop shadow, which I have done in the big crowd scene, but I'll get to that one a little bit later. All my choices are to make the shot feel real. There's one thing that I've learned is that a good compositor's job is done when no one can tell that you've done a good job. Like, if I were to just have this standard unlit animation in this shot, it wouldn't be as immersive, right? And you gotta feel like you're in there, man. I use a lot of soft blurs with Val's shots because they look horny, and this is a horny character, and, eye contact is, but also because they help draw focus to Val's face. So, just like moths coming to the light, y'all are apparently coming to the moth, so you're welcome. I did the same sort of effects for these shots here. So, on to the next one, which was the big crowd scene. I love doing this one, but it, no joke, was literal hell. Since not only did I have to do Angel, the crowd, which, by the way, there's me, but I had to do a spinning camera move and also make sure that the emo parts were well contrasted without being too uncomfortable. I didn't really film my breakdown for this one, but here's the level of layers I had to go into for this to work the way that I wanted. As vibrant and diverse as this club scene was, I also really enjoyed doing the emo parts of this shot. I got the eyes in their own layer, which is great to have since it allows Cherry's eyes to pop out and her expression really helps tell the story of the shot. Even though, no joke, it lasts like 2 seconds, but that's still 2 seconds of sad and now I'm depressed. So, speaking of Cherry, let's go on to this last one that I wanted to cover. This one is a little bit of a quicker explanation since all I really had to do was key out the fog on the fire, tweak the colors, make it glow, make Cherry more pink, gave her a rim light, blurred the background, color correct everything as a whole, and then made a really simple particle simulation to look like sparks coming out of the fire. That's really it. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to keep talking, but here's a few more shots to play in the background while I give you some fun facts about working on this. First one being, there was not a single angel dust in this show that was colored any different than his standard white and pink palette. All of the color edits were done in compositing, and I think that's pretty neat. The next fun fact is that all of the demons that weren't silhouettes were crew cameos of our imp sonas that we've designed, since who wouldn't want to live in this universe? Another one would be that the pole dancing choreography that Angel does was actually done by one of our board artists. Here's her name, and I've linked her reference footage down below. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, the cat girl and the demon schoolgirl prostitute chicks were called Lulu and Dia, respectively. I am actively dating both of them, and that is your problem and not mine, so get to the back of the line. So that's kind of the big gist of what I did on ADDICT and as well as compositing as a whole. But I want to make more videos about talking about compositing work on past projects, like the Hazbin Hotel pilot, or even the Hell of a Boss pilot, or how they compare and whatnot, and even seeing what I would do now with the knowledge that I have now of working on these shows for so long. I'm also in the process of developing my own little web series, which can be found right here. It's about a stupid cat that makes funny haha voice, and therefore it's a cartoon show. So if you'd like to support that, I have a Patreon as well. So clicky clicky, pleasy wheezy. And of course, none of this would have been possible without Viv's endless generosity for these opportunities. I'm very grateful to have been on her team as long as I have, as well as continuing to be on her team for future projects. It's really great. I'm so excited to show you guys what we have coming up next. Please go out and support her directly by buying her merchandise through Shark Robot or pledging to her Patreon. But also do this because
that's how we get our money, and it directly supports the rest of the crew.
I don't really know how to end this, but my dog's name is Laika. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please make sure you like and subscribe. But feel free to follow me on all my other socials. Serval Sketch on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you're a big boy or big girl or big they or a recruiter or something, then Serval Sketch on LinkedIn. Yep. Okay, that's it.